Good evening, everyone. Welcome to some short track truck racing as the Sim Racer Hub Truck Series comes to Martinsville, Virginia. This is Mike McKinnon filling in for Will Tiller alongside Jacob Reeves. And Jacob, we have already got to the grid. We're going to have to get right to these guys, but what are we expecting tonight as we get these two short pace laps in?
Well, Michael, I'll be honest with you. This is actually my favorite short track. And I believe that's exactly what we are going to see here tonight at Martinsville.
I got to agree with you 100%, Jacob. I know we're going to get beaten, banging, tempers, the whole thing, and you're seeing the starting lineup there, everyone. And let me run that down as they get ready to take off, do the two pace laps. On the pole, you're going to have Hunter Parsons with a 19.423. Adam Newton in the 82 is going to start second, 3/1000th off the pole. Starting third, Nathan Maurer in the 971. Joey Doucette will roll off fourth. Jose Luis Rivera in the 20 will roll off fifth. He'll be followed by Taylor Peacock in the 81, Blake Lothian in the 43. Behind Blake, we'll see Brady LaBeouf in the 24. He'll be followed by Tyler Daniels. And rounding out the top 10 will be Lance Miller in the 21.
Then you got Derek Kilgore and Joey Stiers going to be in that 11th and 12th spots, respectively. Stephen Thomas, one of the championship 6 on the Friday night series, going to be 13th right here with Jason Morales. Going to be in the 14th spot. Justin White, Zach Hartwick, that's going to be 15th and 16th. Tyler Dittmer, check this man out right here, 17th starting in the field, is actually the championship points leader and number 1 in the power rankings coming into tonight for the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. So Tyler's going to be right basically smack dab in the middle of the field. Hopefully he's going to be able to slide up through there. He's going to be right beside Kerry Tribute and Cody Knott and Raul Meza. That's going to round out the top 20.
21st, we're going to have Kyle Hess. 22nd, Steve Barnett. 23rd, Ed Osborne. 24th, we're going to see Donnie Lyons. And then Brandon Broadfoot, 25th. Curtis Rogers, 26th. Ryan Twinham, 27th. Tim Hammond, 28th. James Morris, 29th. And Brian Chu will bring up the 30th position.
Then Christopher Blanchard and Sean Hamilton, they're going to be 31 and 32nd, respectively. Adam Cantwell, Jeffrey Johnson Jr., Robert Richards, that is all the way to 34th. These guys did not take a time here tonight. Brandon Bullock, Chris Kynes, Dane Hagan, Ron Hunter, and Adam Newberg starting tail end out of the 40 trucks here tonight. I'm telling you right now, Michael, I'm telling you, bud, I'm happy that you in the broadcast booth with me getting ready to call this bad boy. And Newbert, he's got a lot of ground to make up starting in the back, 40th spot, but the man on the front, you talked about it, 0.003 of a second between Hunter Parsons and Adam Newton. They're going to be on the front row waiting on Barney, the flag man, to wave that green flag. And it is in the air. We are underway tonight here at Martinsville.
We are underway. It didn't seem like anybody spun the tires too bad. Newton got a great start on the outside, but as we know, bottom line usually prevails here, and we see Parsons able to stretch it going into 3.
And Michael, that's one of the things that I really love about Martinsville. It's got that old school feel. You know, they have retransformed basically Bristol, where it used to be straight down on the bottom of the racetrack. Martinsville's never really changed. It's always been right around the bottom of the racetrack, the shortest way around. And sometimes the only way that you can get around other people is going to be bumping them out of the way as you're riding on board with Joey Doucette stuck up there in that top lane that we was talking about. Now Brady LaBeouf right behind Doucette, watching these guys battle it out. Brady's going to see if he can take a spot right here.
Yeah, he's going to see if he can dive it in before Joey gets a chance to get down here. That's the goal of it. You want to get into the inside, keep the man squeezed out. Here he comes with the run. Not quite able to do it right now. Close battles right here within the top 10. Parsons out to the lead, up to about half a. Oh, got a caution. Getting ready to come right here. Going to be a caution.
Yeah, caution is on the speedway. We're going to kind of see what happened, see what that caution was all about. I'm sure somebody maybe got moved out of the way because it looks like everybody kind of kept it straight right there. Looks like it was Donnie Lyons in the 79 truck. I believe that was he that got caught up on this. And Michael, I believe he may have just got a little bit of a tag in the back end. We're going to see it right here. Oh, Donnie Lyons. No, actually, he didn't get tagged. He just got loose right there coming off of turn number 4.
Yeah, it looked like he got the curb a little bit, and that's not the way to do it here. That you get immediately loose, and it'll snap the truck straight around if you get up on the curb. So, caution number 1. Not too many laps into the event yet. Lap 5 right here. We're expecting a few of these, folks. This is a hard track until you get kind of single-filed. People trying to make their moves, different braking points. These guys are doing the best they can do, and let's hope this will sort its way out, and we'll get back to the restart soon.
And tonight we actually do have 2 stages. This race is 200 laps here tonight. Stage 1 is going to be at lap 45, and then stage 2 is going to be at lap 95. And Michael, that is what these guys are basically racing to right now, is that lap 45 where they're going to be able to get these playoff points, be able to get these stage points that's going to help them out later on in the season. And that's exactly what some of these guys that are up here battling it out. Hunter Parsons, one of them, he sure could use them, as well as Adam Newton. So big deal for him right here. Still waiting on the pace truck to pull off right here with this Serve Pro caution tonight. Pace truck's still out there, waiting on everybody to try to get lined up. And Michael, I mean, we talk about this, you know, we've talked about this at other tracks. I'm not really even sure what the record would be for a caution here at Martinsville in the Sim Racer Hub Truck Series, but I mean, I don't want to jinx us because I've had that curse. Adam Fligger has pointed that out to me in the past. But, you know, do you think we'll see a lot of cautions, or do you think we're actually, everybody's going to be able to keep it clean and get us a good green flag run in?
Well, with the talent in the field, you wouldn't expect to have too many, but as you saw right there with Donnie, he just turned down a little too soon, spun him out, a little bit of a self-spin. The issue will come later in the race, I'm sure, if we get restarts. So I would expect a decent number of these, but the restarts is what's going to bring it on mostly, I would assume.
And not only on those restarts, you're talking about those drivers spinning tires. Not only that, some of these guys making some dive bombs. And folks, what that is people just driving it straight in there, maybe 2-3 truck lengths deeper than what they usually would, to be able to try to stick their nose in there and slide somebody up the track to try to advance their position. That's a normal thing at short tracks, big time normal thing here at Martinsville. And to be honest with you, that gets people a little bit ticked off, and that's when you start seeing those feuds of people being very over aggressive. And usually you see that here at Martinsville. Pace truck is off. Hunter Parsons, Adam Newton still on that front row. Right behind them, Nathan Maurer and Jose Luis Rivera, as the green flag's back out as they go into turn number 1.
Yeah, real good restart for Parsons there. Did not spin the tires that time. You see Newton able to make a good run on the outside and hold his position. So we might be seeing a little something out of Mr. Newton tonight. He looks very strong.
And right behind him, a big gaggle of cars, all of it around Jose Luis Rivera. Doucette almost got into his back end, almost jacked him up and turned him around. Doucette had to go all the way to the top and basically just let everybody advance past him, as we have another caution on the speedway, another Serve Pro caution. Wow, here we go again. It's going to be cautions after cautions, and cautions breed cautions here at Martinsville.
Yeah, they certainly do. We saw Joey get way high there, tag the wall a little bit. I don't know if that's the cause of what happened, but we'll see it right here on the replay.
Looks like it was around Adam Newbert in that vicinity. Newbert was able to sneak by it. Like it was actually the 10 truck of Adam Cantwell. Kind of looks like he might have got a spun right here. Looks like that's the 8 truck of Ryan Twenham. Jumps straight up into him, just kind of dives it in there. We talk about that dive bomb all the time, Michael. That's exactly what it was. Newbert able to get on the brakes. You're going to see it right here with Twenham and Cantwell. You'll see it here in a second. Look like he just, I mean, like I said, look like he just kind of just drove it in there way too deep. You see it right there, bam. And actually, it looked like Twenham was actually blinking out there just a little bit. And there's Newbert right there parked to not be able to try to get involved in any of that. And he was able to get around it. That's going to bring out the second caution tonight if anybody's keeping score at home on the Serve Pro cautions tonight.
Yeah, that right there, that wreck is a typical wreck here. It's a guy wanting to get a good arc. He comes down. You got to be in your mirrors. You got to be in your front. You got to be everywhere at the track like this. So it's something you may see a few times, before the day is over. It's nothing unexpected here.
Yeah, nothing unexpected indeed. And there's your point standings right there on the screen. We see it right here. Tyler Dittmer, or we're going to see him here in a second. And Tyler Dittmer and Sean Hamilton, Jason Morales, Adam Newton, and Joey Stiers. That's the top 5 in the points. Adam Newbert, Brandon Bullock, Kerry Tribune, Lance Miller, and Robbie Richards. That is the top 10. And looking at some of this right here, got a lot of sick-witted motorsports, a couple of Highline guys in here, a couple Mission 1 drivers in here. Got a Rev Racing stuck right there smack dab in the middle, along with a 979. Some Brute Force Motorsports. So basically, a lot of teams right here being represented in that top 10 right there, Michael.
Yeah, that's something we like to pride ourselves on here. We have a lot of different teams, a lot of great drivers. Usually you'll have 10 to 12 different winners during the season, and that's the greatest part about this, right? Keeping the competition tight and strong so that we can put on a good product for everybody.
And guys, everybody like I was talking about with that sick-witted motorsports. I love saying that. That's an awesome name right there for a race team. That's the Swim Motorsports team that we have had Will Tiller and Wesley Outland talk about. Will under the weather here this evening. Wesley Outland also out this evening as well. That's why you're stuck with me and Michael McKinnon here tonight at Martinsville. Hopefully everybody's having a good Monday night. Hopefully your workday was not as rough as mine was. But pace car is off. Hunter Parsons and Adam Newton. They've been on that front row basically all race long of these 16 laps. Waiting on Barney, the flag man. Green flag is out. And once again, same old song, same old dance. Hunter Parsons, Adam Newton into turn 1.
Yeah, but see, Nate Maurer got a real good start there, but he's going to be patient. He lets Newton get back to the beginning. Another caution right off the bat. Here we go, everybody. Here we go.
Here we go, indeed. The roller coaster ride of cautions. And, I mean, Michael, we talked about this before the race. 40 drivers on a half a mile flat track like Martinsville. Like I said earlier, cautions will breed cautions. Wow, it just looked like a little bit of a stack up on the inside lane. Everybody trying to stack up and trying to check up and not get caught up in it. And then actually it all happened in the back. I believe that was Raul Meza that got turned around. I believe that's who it was. So caution again on the speedway.
Yeah, you see Brandon Broadfoot there. He didn't get checked up quite as much and gives him a tap there, and then he's going to come down here and give him another tap and send him right on around.
And Michael, you talked about this.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I mean, just kept on basically running back into him. We've seen it right there. And Michael, you talked about this right there on that restart. That whole inside lane had to basically check up because there was somebody that actually had some wheel spin that you were talking about a while ago. That's exactly what stacked that whole inside lane up. And I think that played into it right there with Broadfoot and Meza getting into it.
Now, I'm not exactly sure what Brandon was trying to do there. You can't advance your position through the tailgate, but That's all right. These breaking points are different for guys, so people watching at home, all you can really see is the tailgate in front. You're hoping you're braking at the same place the other guy is, but if you don't, you'll get a situation just like that. And this will get sorted out. I'm going to bet on that. Somebody's going to get this sorted out. We're going to get some racing under our belt.
Yes, sir. We really want to get some racing in our belt tonight. Once again, under the Serve Pro caution right here, the Hot Lap 200 tonight here at Martinsville. We're riding on board with Stephen Thomas, Elkview, West Virginia. See if he's going to be able to slide past some of these guys. Currently sitting 8th right now in the running order. There's Joey Doucette riding on board with him. He's currently sitting 11th. Actually started this race in the 4th position. When he kind of got into Jose Luis Rivera, kind of got jumped straight up to the top. And that's basically why he is back there in that particular spot where he's at. And Michael, we talked about that a while ago. Basically, it's typical short track racing. Somebody slides up. I mean, unless they're teammates, teammates, you want to try to let them down, but at the same time, you got other guys stacked up behind you. You don't want to stack up too much, because if you do, trying to let your teammate down, you're going to get spun.
That's exactly right. This is one of those places you can play a little team games if you're on the front row, but as you said, you stack them up, the guys 10, 12 trucks back, they don't see it in time, and you're getting what we're seeing right here. This is the hardest part for these guys, is getting to the braking points and not trying to get in the rear of someone. Finally, the pace truck's going to come off. We're going to get back together here at start of lap 23. Hunter Parsons there with Newton, Maurer, Rivera, Lothian, and here we go. Parsons off to a good start again. Nate didn't quite get as good as ones that time, but Brady's able to catch it early enough there, and away we go.
Brady LaBeouf, we talked about him, the owner of Nazareth and also the owner of the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, actually getting into Jose Luis Rivera and kind of spins him. No caution yet on the speedway. Peacock also one of them around, and that is typical right there, a parking lot right here off of turn number 4.
Yeah, and everybody's going to have to hold the brake. That may have started with Maurer getting onto the curb, and then Jose not able to check up in time. We'll just have to wait and see a replay, but I think that's exactly what happened right there.
Michael, you are exactly right. I'm sitting here watching it on my end, and that's exactly what it was. Maurer just bounced it straight off the curb. Rivera tried to check up the best that he could, had Lothian on his outside, and Peacock almost had that bad boy saved. He was literally sliding around, trying to keep it straight. But we're going to see it right here on the pole, instant replay right here. Once again, beautiful cameras right here by Adam Flieger. You're going to see it right here. And you see it up there. I mean, yeah, you see the stack up right there. I mean, Maurer hit that curb. Rivera tried to check up. Brady LaBeouf tried to check up as well. Peacock actually getting spun. You see it right there. I mean, it's unfortunate to see that, but you see all these guys basically stopping because they don't want to get any type of damage on their vehicle. Especially this early in the race.
Well, and that's a correct move, because we know as soon as the yellow comes out, the field is frozen. You can stop, wait for everything to get out of the way, and then go back and make up your positions here. Well, we may have to come up with some new stories to tell these fans before this one's over. Jacob, what do you think?
You are exactly right on that, Michael. I mean, we're gonna have to come up with some kind of stories like, how was your work day today, or what you got going on this week, what you got going on this weekend. I mean, we got to come up with some crazy stories. But the main story right now is all these guys still racing to that lap 45 mark, which will pay out stage points and the playoff points as well. So, Michael, you would actually think, even though this being a short track, this being Martinsville, everybody being as close as they are, all the beating and the banging, you would think that maybe they would try to clean it up and try to be, just try to spread out just a little bit, try to get something going. And I think that's exactly what has happened as the restarts. Now they're going to be single file.
Yep, they went straight to a single file restarts. That should help a little bit here. There's another piece of strategy here, Jacob, I want you to think about. They have 3 changes of tires for the entire race. Do you think with the way this stage is going, some guys may just stay out and take their shot with the next stage on the same set?
Yeah, I mean, the top 10, really. I mean, some of them may have a little bit of damage, but, with Martinsville, the way that it is, you're not really worried about any type of aerodynamics like you would see like last week at Talladega. You're not worried about any of that. You're worried about just being able to make sure that the wheel is straight, you're able to drive straight, and that's all you're really worried about. But as many laps as they've ran under caution, they're not burning any fuel, they're not burning off any tires. But we're getting ready to go back green. Pace car is off. Hunter Parsons up front, Adam Newton, Blake Lothian, Nathan Maurer, and Justin White. That is the top 5 as they go into turn number 1. Justin White actually up 10 spots, started this race in the 15th position all the way up to 5th.
Now, with this single file restart, a person like Brian Chu, Ron Hunter, these guys in the back, they're going to have a lot less room to hold off to try to not go a lap down. These leaders will be coming at them fast and furious if we can get some green flag action here.
And it looks like that's exactly what we may get right here. Everybody trying to keep it in a line. As you see Jose Luis Rivera right there in the 20, running in the 8th position right behind Stephen Thomas and Brady LaBeouf. Both of them trying to get around Justin White, having that top 5 spot. Remember, top 10 drivers will get paid stage points, and that 10th spot is occupied by Lance Miller in the 21. Now it's Derek Kilgore as Miller goes around him. Battle may be starting to heat up front. Hunter Parsons getting a little bit of heat behind him from Adam Newton.
Yeah, I'm watching the lap times here. He's .413 behind the last lap. Ran a 19. Didn't quite tell me what it was, but I'm gonna check the gap right here to see if it's staying stable or if he's gonna be able to get a run up on him.
We're seeing Lothian actually putting a lot of pressure behind Adam Newton, maybe trying to see if Newton will maybe miss his braking points, trying to keep it close back there so Newton will not be worried about what's in front of him, worry about what's behind him, maybe overdrive the corner and give Lothian that shot to get up under him, maybe pull the dive bomb. But Lothian putting a lot of pressure on him right behind him. Maurer looking very comfortable where he's at in that 4th position. Justin White, he's got a rear view mirror full. Brady LaBeouf.
Yeah, some good battles starting to come up here, and we're going to find out who's actually got some speed and who don't, and that's a good thing. Now we can find out who might bring it toward the front here toward the end of the stages. We've got 10 to go before we pay some points.
And we have another caution on the Speedway. Single file was not able to make it work. Looks like Taylor Peacock was one of those. As you see him right there on the bottom of the racetrack, everybody trying to get around Peacock. Wow, we'll see what this caution brought out. We'll see why Peacock got turned around right here as we see the on the pole instant replay.
Yeah, it looked like he had a little bit of engine damage too. I don't know if he got a curb or something certainly happened to him. And his is a winner from like a 2-time winner on the Friday night series, and just loose off the corner and bang, straight into the wall.
And folks, these guys might actually be playing a little bit of a, I guess you could say a money shift in these trucks here at Martinsville. It's very possible that they could be doing that. And folks, for what I'm saying about the money shift is they're going 4th gear down the straightaways, and they might be trying to downshift into the 3rd gear as I'm doing it right now on my shifter right now, going from 4th down to 3rd to be able to get some high RPMs and be able to get a better drive off the corner. And that may have been what happened to Taylor Peacock right there. He might have just given it a little bit too much gas and just sent it straight around, straight into the barrels, which, Michael, as we know here on iRacing, those barrels do not move like they would in real life.
No, I've yet to see them explode in one of these races. They do not move. They are part of the wall. And I'm real interested. I think that some of this aggression is because the track temperature is only 70 degrees tonight. The grip level was actually really good pre-race. I ran some laps. I'm surprised they're having so much trouble with this, unless they're, getting some brake slide, something like that. But you may bring up a good point. If he shifted down and got on a little bit too much, it'll just snap you around coming out the corner.
It's happened to me numerous times, and right now, race control looking like they're going to try to jump it back to that double file restart. And Michael, we've seen what these double file restarts can do. We got a single file restart this last time. Got us a little bit of a green flag run right here, but with the double file, I don't know. I mean, we're coming right here with about 6, 7, give or take 8 laps to go before this stage is over with. Like I said, we'll be paying off those stage points and all that good stuff. So, I don't know, double file restart that. From what we've seen already, that's prime for some fireworks right here to end stage 1.
Yeah, it certainly is. From, let's say, Jose Luis Tavera, Lance Miller, Kilgore, Stiers. Those guys are going to want those last bits of points, and we'll see if they'll be diving it in hard right here. But I've enjoyed the racing when we're getting some here. You can kind of see who's going to be fast, who's not. So hopefully we get it cleaned up here and we can get these fast guys to the front, and they can put on a good show for everybody.
And folks, you know, we talk about this. This is the best or basically the best of the Sim Racer Hub Truck Series has to offer. It's just Martinsville is one of those tricky tracks. It just does not have the banking like we had at Talladega last week. Talladega, 33 degrees banking. This place is basically just like driving on your typical interstate, is basically how flat it is. But right now, pace truck is off. Hunter Parsons up front. He's been up front the whole time. Adam Newton basically been in that second spot the whole time as well. Lothian, Maurer, and Justin White. That's your top 5. Once again, Parsons gets a great jump on the field. Looks like he's going to try to see if he can pull Blake Lothian right behind him off of 2.
Yeah, Blake got a great start right behind him. He's able to maybe keep inside of Newton there and take second place away, and he is. And then here we come with Maurer. He's right after Newton as well. Blake Lothian really putting the pressure to Parsons right now.
And he knows right here it's coming to the end of that stage 1 break, trying to get these points. That's exactly what he's wanting to get right now. Lothian going to put all the pressure that he can on Hunter Parsons right here. Parsons going to be really looking out that mirror, waiting on Lothian to sometime or another try to drive it in a little bit deeper. Like I said, about 2 or 3 truck lengths more. As now we got a big caution right here, big caution. A couple of guys spun right there off of turn number 2, right in front of the leaders.
Yep, another calamity corner. That's probably going to end the stage, I'm assuming. That'll probably end the stage, and that'll give the stage to Hunter Parsons since there was only 2 to go. So I'm assuming that's your winner, folks. Hunter Parsons is going to take stage 1.
Yep, Hunter Parsons believe that is exactly what's going to happen right there. You see Cody Knott, one of those guys getting turned, was running up pretty close up inside the top 15, gets spun right there. And everybody else trying to check up. You see Adam Newbert back there as well, tried to get checked up. Jason Morales, a bunch of these guys trying not to come straight up into him and clean them out. But yeah, I believe it will be Hunter Parsons that's going to take the stage 1 win. Looks like Blake Lothian wasn't able to make a move like he wanted to right there on Hunter Parsons. The caution came out and was not able to make it work. Lothian will get that second spot. Adam Newton, Nathan Maurer, Stephen Thomas going to be the top 5. Justin White, Lance Miller, Jose Luis Rivera, Joey Stiers, and Tyler Dittmer. Check this out, 17th all the way up to 10th, the points leader coming into tonight. That's going to be really, really big for him, trying to get some extra points here at Martinsville.
Yes, sir. And there's your top 10 from the stage 1, and we're assuming these boys are going to pit. Should we take a break, or do you want to stay right here and let's see what they do real quick?
Let's see what they do real quick. Let's see what happens and see if anybody tries to jump down, try to make some, maybe try to go ahead and get some tires, get some gas, or do, you know, some of them may want to just try to hang where they're at. We'll see what this, see what happens right here. See if any of these guys decide to duck in. Pace truck coming down the back stretch. Looks like right now Hunter is actually staying out at this time. He's not going to go in. Lothian looks like he's going to stay out. Newton's going to stay out. Maurer, White, Brady LaBeouf, basically looks like the whole top 10 from what it's looking like. Nobody's going to go in right here, as I believe the the pit road was open at that time. So looks like we will take a quick break. Be right back here for the Hot Lap 200 here at Martinsville.
And we're back right here in Martinsville, getting ready to start stage 2. We've had a little bit of mix-ups on pit road. We've got some guys in the back come in to do it. All the leaders stayed out. And once again, we got Parsons up there with Lothian, Newton, Maurer, White, and Brady LaBeouf as they coming off of turn 4, ready to take the green flag.
And they will be gone. Green flag. Everybody on the gas. Hunter Parsons, basically like he has done all race long so far. These 49 laps, he has led every single lap so far. But Lothian going to see if he can give him a little bit of pressure. Michael, we talked about it just a second ago while we was during commercial break. Some of these guys trying to save some gas. Looked like Raul Meza slid straight into the pits. Maybe not a way that you want to make a pit stop right there. But look like Raul Meza slid in there. That's going to bring out the caution. Joey Doucette, one of them that's also involved.
Yeah, that was crazy. We just caught the end of it right there as he slid over the hump and right into pit road. Did not see what happened to Joey Doucette here. Let's see what happened with him.
Oh, well.
He just cut right across the nose of Dane Hagen there, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, he thought he was going to be a little bit clear and be able to jump it down in there. Got to give props right there to Raul Meza for not tearing his truck up any more than what he did. Very good slide in there. Actually did get his black flag cleared, so that's going to help him out a little bit on that, not be able to have to come back down to serve another penalty. But, I mean, great job right there by Meza, sliding, basically jumping over the curb and not hitting those barrels right there going into turn 3.
Yeah, that was crazy. Can we find that, Adam? Is it possible he, I don't know if he thought he saw a wreck in front or he locked the brakes, but he just went flying right into pit road.
Yeah, we may see if we can get that on here as we're back under the Serve Pro caution here tonight. And Meza's actually, with that save, I guess you could say, going to be able to not go down one lap, as we're going to see it right here on the pole instant replay. Folks, check this driving out right here by Meza. Locked him up, jumped the curb, got into the inside wall just a little bit. Doesn't really look like it hurt the truck that bad, but I'm telling you, great awareness, I guess you could say, from Raul Meza right there.
Yeah, it looked like he had Broadfoot coming down on him hard again. He was just moving to avoid it, trying to keep from spinning Broadfoot out as well, and he took the brunt of it.
He took the brunt of it, that is for sure. But we see that a lot, Michael. Some of these guys trying to make those dive bombs, but then you've got to act, just so quick when, you try to make that hole and then somebody jumps straight down and they fill that hole. You've got to make evasive moves like Meza just did right there. And he made about the best move that you possibly can make. Like I said, did not hit those barrels. And like we said earlier, the barrels do not move when they hit them. So, good driving right there by Meza. But up front, nothing has changed as Parson continues to lead every single lap. Lap 54 right now, as they're going to come to lap 55 this time by. Parsons really, the only challenger he has had tonight really has been Blake Lothian in that 43 truck.
Yeah, he's giving him the best run for his money when they've been able to go green. We're seeing a few names starting to pop up toward the top 10. Jason Morales making his way up, Kerry Trabue, Joey Stiers. they're all starting to make their way up through the field here. So all the big hitters starting to make their way to the front.
And some of these guys right here, I'm looking right now, a lot of big movers in the field. One of them looks like that is Chris Kynes in the number 29 entry. Started this race 37th, all the way up to 18th. The big losers so far, looks like it's got to be Joey Doucette. Started the race 4th, all the way down to the 27th position. Excuse me, Peacock actually was starting in the 6th spot all the way down to 39th. He has retired from the event. Up front, green flag in the air, Hunter Parsons. Once again, going to get a big jump right here. Lothian going to slide right back down, right down behind him. Side-by-side battle for 3rd right now with Adam Newton and Brady LaBeouf.
Yeah, Newton and LaBeouf, then Maurer, Miller, all these guys side by side. Just outside's not where you want to be. You can get some speed, but eventually you're going to lose out. Now Brady should be able to slide it down. Another caution on the speedway.
Another caution on the speedway. Folks, sounds like we're kind of broken records right now with all these Serve Pro cautions. And, I mean, Michael, to be honest with you, I was actually wanting to keep score for the folks at home, but to be honest with you, at this point, I've lost count.
Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about it. We'll just look at the results after it and see what, comes of it there with no telling. You see Hagan, I think he might have got a little bit of the inside, and then boom, that couple trucks really got pounded right there.
Well, one of them was Adam Newbert, and then you see a bunch of them having to brake and stop. And like I said last night on the broadcast for the dirt race, dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge, if that's how I said it, going with the 5 Ds reference to the dodgeball term. Wow, everybody trying to figure out a way to get slowed down the best they can and try to be able to slide past people. Right now, 32 trucks on lead lap. Derek Kilgore, the last one on that lead lap, as he's going to go down and get some pit road service, try to fix his truck. He was actually involved in that last caution. And some of these guys up front, Brady LaBeouf, obviously Hunter Parsons, Brady LaBeouf, Blake Lothian, Adam Newton, Lance Miller, the top 5. These guys, Michael, I'll be honest with you, I think they're just perfectly fine right now with the cautions. Obviously, they want to get out there and they want to get some green flag runs in and get to racing a little bit, but it seems to me like they are perfectly content with everybody just beating the hell out of one another behind them and just trying to get them a top 5 tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think maybe their pit crews are too. Hell, they may be able to go 200 laps on fuel at this point, or one set of tires. I mean, it's going to be hard to get some strategy in here if we can get some action to go. There can't be any tire wear on these guys. They're probably still feeling like they just started to race on these things.
Absolutely. I mean, and really, they haven't really been putting any pressure on one another, with the exception of obviously Newton and LaBeouf. LaBeouf moving up through the field as well. I mean, he started the race 8th all the way up to 4th. Obviously, Lance Miller from 10th all the way to 5th. And some of these guys, like we talked about a while ago, with the biggest movers, Chris Kynes being the one that obviously sticks out from 37th up to 18th. I mean, Michael, honestly, I mean, they're not, and from what I'm able to see and from what I'm sure you're able to see as well, they're not really fighting for those spots. They're just capitalizing on everybody else's mistakes.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. They're just being lucky. They're picking their way through the wrecks, pick up a spot here, pick up a spot there, and next thing you know, top 15, and you're about ready to try to make a move coming forward.
And with up front, the only way to go is either go a little bit more forward, try to get up there and challenge Hunter Parsons and Blake Lothian. Either that or drop straight back to the back. Hopefully that does not happen for some of these biggest movers in the race tonight. Another one having a very good run right here. Started 21st all the way up to 14th. That's Kyle Hess trying to make his presence known, starting outside the top 20. Sean Hamilton, can't forget about him. Started 32nd all the way up to 15th, but pace car is off on the racetrack. Hunter Parsons, Blake Lothian still the leader. There you see Barney the flag man holding the flag, still holding that flag. Now he can wave it as the green flag is back under the way here at Martinsville.
And the same move once again. Blake able to clear Newton, get to the bottom, and hang Brady out again. See if Brady can get enough run. He's going to get it down here, I think. Nope, going to stay to the outside. I thought he had a chance to get down, but he's kind of liking where he's running, so he's just going to do it again.
And if he would have probably jumped down right there, Michael, honestly, you know, Newton was coming with a charge down on the bottom of the racetrack. You know, probably wouldn't have benefited Brady LaBeouf right there, as Newton was coming, like I said, with a full head of steam. Probably would have drove it straight in there and jacked his back end up, and then we would have had another caution. But up front, Lothian putting the pressure on Hunter Parsons right up his tailgate, almost gets into him as they come off of turn 2.
Yeah, great racing at the front when we get our chances here. And I've been watching a little bit of Stephen Thomas poking his nose. You see Nate Maurer back there. These guys are, they're looking for their opportunity to pounce, but everybody up front running about the same pace right now.
Everybody real content trying to get to that lap 95 mark. If I'm not mistaken, that's what they're aiming for. That will be the next stage break, which is correct. I just checked my notes. Yes. Stage 2 will end around lap 95. So everybody trying to keep it clean, or keep it clean, keep it green, and maybe not another serve pro caution.
And we see Donnie Lyons here may be involved. Let's see if anybody else was involved. You seen Donnie, he was diving right to the pits right there.
Yeah, Donnie Lyons in the 79 entry. We'll see exactly what happened to Donnie right here. I mean, from my end, it honestly, you know, it looks like he jumped the curb once again, slides straight up the track. It was actually right in front of Adam Newbert and Cody Knott. Michael, you talked about that curve down there. I mean, tell everybody, you know, basically what that curve, you know, why they don't need to be driving down there. I mean, what's the significance of trying to not hit that curve?
Well, it's much taller than you think, and it picks the truck up, puts all the weight on 2 tires. You're instantly loose or you're instantly spun, and it just looked like he completely blew the corner right there. He just way too low entering, way too hot. He wasn't going to get it slowed down either way, so he just had to take the consequences and hope he didn't get anybody else caught up in the mess.
And a couple of them did get caught up in the mess too, guys. Like I said just a second ago, Cody Knott, Adam Newbert able to sneak by it. Newbert, we talked about him a while ago, actually started this race tail end, last truck with the field that took the green. That was right around the remarks of Brian Chew. He was also one of them. Looked really, really strong last week at Talladega. Won a stage, if I'm not mistaken. Got him a stage win. Was in contention for the win at the end of that race, and some misfortunes happened, sent him to the back. There you see Brian Chew right there, Fort Myers, Florida, in the number 51 entry. And you know, I mean, Michael, you know, we talked about last week with Talladega, all the speed, the banking, and everything. You know, I mean, we talked about it last week. You know, it seemed like that was an easy track, but it's not, because it's mentally draining. This track, Martinsville, completely opposite from what Talladega is. I mean, you know, from a driver's point, you know, I know what my point would be for it, but would you think that this is also one of those tracks that is a little bit mentally draining?
Oh, it's 100% mentally draining. By now, these guys are getting frustrated. I mean, this is a track you can run several different ways. You can lift a little bit past the stand and roll it in. You can drive it in deep. You can do several things and make laps here. You wouldn't think 60 mile an hour in a corner would be tough on any of these race trucks, but 70 mile an hour is too much. And they have to keep it together, take their time, be patient, and work this thing out, because right now we're just having issue after issue after issue. And these guys are better than this. We know that.
Absolutely, we do know that. These guys are better than this. Got him double file right now, riding on board with Blake Lothian. 43 entry. He's going to be up top. Hunter Parsons down on the bottom. Adam Newton, Brady LaBeouf, Lance Miller. Basically, I guess you could say the typical cast of characters in the top 5. Nothing really changing up there, with the exception of some of them making some moves. When we do have a little bit of a green flag run, them being able to advance a couple of spots, maybe on the bottom. Some of them get stuck up top, but we'll see if any of them make some moves here as the pace truck is off once again. That will conclude this Serve Pro caution. Green flag back in the air. Hunter Parsons once again, same thing he's done every single restart. Jump straight to the bottom. Lothian lets him go. Going to be right in his tire tracks as they go down the backstretch.
Yeah, Lothian's getting real good starts every time. He's able to get off that top line and get down in front of Newton, and that was real close to getting Hunter jacked up right there. He is definitely putting a little pressure on.
He actually hit him about twice right there. Hunter really starting to feel the pressure. That is Parsons from Lothian. These two actually trying to check out. Maybe Lothian trying to push Hunter Parsons along, trying to check out from this field. As much as they have seen with all the cautions and all the beating and banging that we talked about earlier, Lothian knows all that's going on behind him, trying to get Parsons and him to check out and get away from this field.
Yeah, I see Lance Miller about 3 or 4 laps in a row putting the pressure on Brady with Stephen Thomas right behind him. Stephen will be looking to pounce on both these guys. They raced too long right here.
And it is possible, you know, Michael, we have seen it happen where you see both of these guys battling door to door. You're in a position like Stephen Thomas is. I mean, you know, there is some drivers that would just take that aggressive approach and just see them keep going too wide the whole time. You know, is there ever that thought, especially here at Martinsville, where you just say, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to dump straight to the bottom and we're just going to take them 3 wide? I mean, have you ever had that mindset?
I've had the mindset. It didn't work for me that day because I clipped the curb. That's the problem. You got to get some arc or you're not going to get any runoff, and you know it. So the goal is to get them pushed up a little bit and then get yourself through the corner.
Yeah, that's basically my standpoint of it. Never really try to push that 3 wide unless it's like maybe 5 laps to go, and then at that point, you got to get everything you can. There's no give and take at that point. It's just all take. And right now, it looks like Lothian giving just a little bit, giving Hunter Parsons maybe a little bit of breathing room right here. Both of them starting to separate themselves from the field, separate themselves from Adam Newton and Lance Miller. Brady LaBeouf actually was sitting in the 4th spot, dropped back 2 spots, and Stephen Thomas was able to get by him. Now Nathan Maurer, or Brady LaBeouf gets around Maurer, so put LaBeouf back up to 5th, Maurer back to 6th. So right now, you know, everybody trying to mind their P's and Q's. And Michael, that's what we've been wanting to see this whole time.
Yeah, we've been wanting to get this conveyor belt going, and it looked like Stephen Thomas, somebody might have got into him a little bit, got him loose. He dropped from 5th all the way to 10th in 1 lap right there, so I'm going to assume somebody got into him, moved him up out of the way.
With everybody and with, you know, some of these guys getting this green flag run in, that's going to play into something that we have not seen yet this evening. That's lap traffic. So that's going to play a big factor right here with these leaders. And it looks like they are catching the back end of the field at a rapid pace. They're starting to catch these lap trucks and coming up on around the 10 laps to go, coming up on 10 to go before this stage ends. Michael, do we think we're going to have some lap traffic play factor into the end of the stage?
Yeah, you could see them up ahead of them there, just not too far, maybe half a straightaway. I would say good possibility they're going to get into somebody and have to make their way around them right here before the end of the stage.
At that point, when you're battling for that playoff point, battling for the stage points, you basically got to go. I mean, you got to be like Nicolas Cage did in Gone 60 Seconds. Just hit the button, go, baby, go. You got to be able to try to get away from the guy that you're battling. And right now, Hunter Parsons still battling with Lothian. Looking like we got a little bit of a 4-truck separation now as Newton and Miller start to join this battle. Brady LaBeouf leading the charge by everybody else, but still a 4-truck breakaway right now with Parsons, Lothian, Newton, and Miller.
Yeah, they're about a second ahead of that second group led by LaBeouf, Maurer, Treyview, Dittmer, all those guys. But this is what we've been waiting to see. Some green flag runs. This is why you see the guys go so hard, folks. Passing is a premium here. There's only one real way to do it. And you see Brian Chu, he's running for his life up there. He may be able to hold these guys off, before the end of the stage here.
He might be able to, and he will be able to, as another Serve Pro caution comes in right here. Actually, right in front of the leaders is Hunter Parsons having to duck and dodge around the 71 truck. Wow. A lot of moving pieces involved in that. Zach Hardwick, the 71 truck. Gonna take a look at it right here on the pole instant replay. Maybe got a little bit of help right there. Maybe got turned around. No, he did not. Just kind of just lost it on his own right there, Michael.
Yeah, a little hot on the brakes. You'll get a wheel hop into that corner once in a while. Good thing for him there. He's doing smart, keeping it off the wall, keeping it out of everybody's way. Didn't get hurt, so he'll be able to continue on and race it out till the end here.
And, you know, Michael, like I said, we talked about all the beating and the banging. We're guilty of it. You know, I'm guilty of it probably as much as anybody. When you see a truck around at Martinsville, 9 times out of 10, somebody helped that driver get around. And, you know, I mean, obviously that's what we think right off the bat. That's what I was thinking at that point. But at that point right there, just a single car spin, like you said, jumped on the brakes too fast, or excuse me, too hard, and it just locked up the back end, sent them around. But here we go. Got some of these guys making some pit stops right here. This could get a little bit interesting right here coming to the end of the stage.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the leaders. That's Maurer coming in, a couple other guys. I think what they're doing, they think these other guys are going to pit at the end of the stage, and they're going to try to swap some track position here. So this may really pay off for Nate Maurer.
It very well may. He may end up losing a couple spots to try to get some stage points right here, but this has brought a bunch of guys that started in the back. Check this out. 10th place right now is Robbie Richards. Started 35th all the way up to 10th with all of that going on. Adam Newbert, like we talked about earlier, started tail end Charlie. 40th spot all the way up to 11th. James Morris started 29th up to 12th. And Jeffrey Johnson Jr. 34th up to 13th. So I believe, you know, that's exactly what I'm thinking right here, Michael, is some of them guys making those pit stops, knowing that these other guys are going to have to pit to be able to make it to the end. Because obviously that whole top 9 area, I guess you could say, they haven't pitted. I mean, none of them have pitted, and they know that they're going to have to pit to be able to get some gas to make it to the end.
Yeah, I mean, you got Maurer, Dittmer, Rivera, Thomas, Hess. A lot of these guys that were running top 13, 15, top 10, they all came to the pit. So they're going to try to flip track position right here at the end of the stage.
And I believe that is a great, great move for them, because we've seen what has happened back there in the back with everybody trying to get stacked up, especially on these double file restarts. Maybe that's something else that they were playing into their factor, trying to stay out of the wrecks, not necessarily trying to get those stage points, but try to dig themselves out of the hole that they was in. And that's another big trick right there to be able to try to pull that off. But pace truck, now it is off. Hunter Parsons. Basically, I guess we can go ahead and call it at this point, Michael. Hunter's led every single lap in this race. Lothian's been right on his tailgate for probably 80% of those laps. As the green flag's back out, Hunter Parsons once again will lead another lap. Lap 93. 2 more to go to the end of the stage.
And you see Lothian put the chrome bumper to him, put the chrome horn to him there, see if he could get him moved. So he's wanting the stage win, but every one of these guys behind is as well.
Everybody battling it out right now as we got another Serve Pro caution, and looks like that's gonna basically do it for stage number 2. Hunter Parsons will be the beneficiary and sweep the stages here at Martinsville.
Yep, I believe that's going to do it. We'll wait for confirmation, but I'm going to say it's going to be Parsons, Lothian, Miller, Newton, Trabue, LaBeouf, White, Morales, Richards, and James D. Morris, I believe, as we see Adam Cantwell being the recipient of the horn again.
And check this out right here. Hunter Parsons down pit road before they could get to lap 95. Maybe I jumped the gun on that just a little bit. Hunter Parsons down pit road. Looks like Lothian Blake Lothian right here on lap 95. What it looks like, he will be the beneficiary of the stage win. Wow. Wow, I mean, that right there, that's puzzling to me right there, Michael.
Yeah, I don't know if Hunter had to go do something or if some emergency. Let's hope not. That's very odd right there, because usually we have to finish the lap and then they'll come down the pits, but we'll wait for confirmation exactly what's going on.
Lothian will take that bad boy and be able to get this stage 2 win. As he crossed the stripe right there under the Serve Pro caution. Adam Newton, Jose Luis Rivera, Nathan Maurer, Tyler Dittmer going to come home with 5th, get him some stage points. Jeffrey Johnson Jr., Stephen Thomas, Chris Kynes, Brandon Broadfoot, and Joey Doucette. Looks like that will be the 10 drivers that will get those stage points. And Lothian stealing one from what it looks like right here at stage number 2, stealing a playoff point right there from Hunter Parsons.
Well, we'll have to make sure, because what I'm noticing is all the leaders came in. Race control may have decided that was the end of the stage. Go ahead and pit. We'll wait for confirmation on that, everybody. It could simply be Lothian and Newton are going to stay out again, and it's going to give them another set of tires for later in the race. So all these guys that had pitted, the Rivera, Maurer, Dittmer, Thomas, they've all moved themselves up to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th position. So we're just going to have to wait and see how this plays out.
That is a very good point right there, Michael. I mean, race control may have made that call, and we have not been able to see that as of yet. So, yeah, I mean, you are right 100%. Maybe they did make that call, and we have not heard it yet. Still waiting on the pace lights to go out, and they are out. So the Serve Pro caution will be over with after this lap. Remember, Blake Lothian, Adam Newton, Jose Luis Rivera, Nathan Maurer, and Tyler Dittmer are going to be the top 5 right here, as we're waiting on that pace truck to pull off. And Michael, going into this restart right here, I mean, what have you noticed so far? And is there any key players in the field?
We're seeing the players come to the front right here. There's no doubt. I'm interested why Blake took the top. I think they might be teammates. I think Newton might let him down here. Let's wait and see how it plays out. Blake able to get away, should be able to get down, and he is. So we see a little teamwork right there, kind of controlling the field. But these guys behind have brand new, shiny sticker tires. So we'll see how long it takes them to reel them in.
Shiny sticker tires here at Martinsville, and Lothian trying to see if he can pull away from his teammate Adam Newton. Newton trying to hold everybody at bay. He's got Jose Luis Rivera and Tyler Dittmer right behind him. You talked about those shiny new tires. Dittmer, wow, getting into Maurer just a little bit off of turn number 2, battling it out for the 4th spot. Right in front of this, right behind this, Stephen Thomas. And check this out, Chris Kynes, we talked about him a while ago. Started 37th all the way up to the 8th spot. Battling it out right now for the 7th spot right here with Brandon Broadfoot.
Yeah, this is a great battle going on with these new tires on the old. And what's surprising me, I'm not seeing Jose able to get as big a run.
Oh, yeah, my goodness. Chris
Kynes.
Chris Kynes, I just got through talking about him, and once again, oh my goodness, I know Adam Flieger's got to be laughing on this. The commentator curse once again has bit me as Brandon Broadfoot gets a little bit loose right there and jumps straight down into Chris Kynes, and then we got a parking lot on the front stretch.
Yeah, little loose, little wiggle, and a turn, just boom, and then right behind it, Broadfoot not able to get slowed up, and kabam.
Kabam is right. Broadfoot trying to get his truck straightened out, get it back going. And like I said, folks, I mean, it seems like I do have that commentator's curse where, I talked a lot about Brian Chew last week and how good he was doing, and then getting mixed up right there at the end at Talladega, not able to capitalize. And then once again, here I am talking about Chris Kynes, and then Brandon Broadfoot just gets a little bit loose, comes down, gets into the back end of him, and sends him straight into the fence. I'm telling you, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, these guys right here after this race, they're going to be wishing that I would probably quit calling races at this point.
Yeah, they're going to want this place dug up and dynamited. Just make a lake out of it. They're not enjoying it one bit tonight. And then poor Dane Hagen, he piled right in there with Broadfoot. Probably got him some engine damage. We'll just have to wait and see how it works out for those guys.
Just past halfway under this serve pro caution, Blake Lothian still leading this bad boy with Adam Newton, Jose Luis Rivera, Tyler Dittmer, Nathan Meyer to top 5. Want to slide back here to around the 22nd spot. That's where we're going to find Hunter Parsons. Hunter Parsons, remember, had that went down pit road. A lot of them stayed out, and now he's going to have to try to fight his way back up through the field, try to get back up front and take sole command of this race like he had before for so many laps, probably for about the 94 laps that he had the lead, led almost half of the race. Now he's sitting 21st. We'll see if Hunter Parsons is able to close back up, as we got a lucky dog coming around the outside right here. And Michael, I agree with you 100%. You know, I talked about it earlier, loving Martinsville, loving this short track, the history, the tradition, the grandfather clocks that these drivers, accumulate, NASCAR drivers accumulate every time that they win here. But at this point, you know, I'm starting to feel like the drivers a little bit, let's just blow it up. I mean, let's just stick some dynamite right in the middle of it and just blow it up.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. You're running so close to everybody, and a little wiggle. I mean, you saw it was a little wiggle, and that's all it takes here. And it's just a time bomb. Everybody is so close, nose to tail, that when you get slowed up like that, I mean, it's just over. You got nowhere to go. You saw Joey Doucette able to sneak by. That rolls him all the way up to 7th position. So Joey making quite a good comeback so far.
Had a couple of struggles right there in the first stage, able to get it wound back up, try to get himself back into this right now. Joey Doucette, the 16 entry. We call him the Joker for a reason, running the purple paint scheme that we've seen him have in the 7th position. Pace truck is off the racetrack. Lothian once again going to take the top side with his teammate Adam Newton on the inside. Right behind him, Tyler Dittmer, the points leader, with Jose Luis Rivera on the inside. Green flag is back out. Newton gonna let his teammate jump right back down in front of him. Hopefully that does not mess Adam Newton up, as Dittmer gonna try to go side by side for second.
Yeah, I'm very surprised there wasn't a checkup right there. Blake took that to the very final second before he took off, which is perfectly legal. I'm just surprised the guys didn't get checked up behind it. Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
Hess, all these guys pile up. Dittmer too hot into the back end of Newton, turns him around, and there it went.
Dan Hagen, you talked about him a while ago. Dane Hagen, excuse me, getting caught up in that as well. Hagen started 38th all the way up to 9th. Hagen gets into it a little bit. Maybe not have had some engine damage off of the last caution that happened. May certainly have some right here, but we're going to see it right here on the instant replay. And Michael, you called it when it happened, bud.
Yeah, Dittmer a little bit hot right there. He tried to move to miss it. He was hotter than Newton going in the corner. Just hooked him and just not able to get away from it. That brings in Hess and Hagen and Rivera. Trabue got a little piece. Hopefully these guys will be able to continue. As we said, you can take a little body damage. You just don't want that engine damage.
Absolutely. You don't want the engine damage, especially on these straightaways. We talked about them a while ago. Being, I guess you could say, drag strips. Slipping and slide, or going, just flooring it down through. Check this out. Kyle Hess gets into Newton literally on his side. Great camera angle right there by Adam Flieger, our producer for this evening. And I'm sure he's having a ball right now going through all the camera angles and all the cautions that we've had here tonight, the Serve Pro cautions. And check this out right here. Jose Luis Rivera keeping that truck clean. Started 5th up to 2nd right now. Michael, do we think, that, from what we've seen, Lothian and Hunter Parsons, they've been the two guys that have been basically the class of the field from what we've seen. Jose Luis Rivera, he's been hanging around up there in that top 5, top 10. Do you think Jose's got something for Lothian? Or do you think we need to wait on Parsons to try to jump back up in here in this and give Lothian a run for his money?
Oh, I think anybody in the top 5 could have something for Blake. Like I said, they're on newer tires. Jose is not going to give anybody an inch. He's going to push it as hard as he can. Stephen Thomas is simply one of the best guys in our league. He's great with saving tires. He's always smooth. And then you got Maurer Doucette. How about a shout out for Tim Hammond? He's able to make it all the way from 28th up to 6th. I mean, there's several guys having great runs. Raul Meza, we saw him pile into the inside wall of the pits a while ago. He's all the way back up to 8th. So getting very interesting how it's going to shake out. And, of course, Parsons already back up to 13th.
I'm not going to say a word about what you said about some of the biggest movers. I'm not even going to mention their names, Michael, because we've already seen that I am cursed at calling some of these guys that's been the biggest movers. So I'm not even going to say the drivers' names, and hopefully they're going to be able to keep it up there in that top 10. But right now, Blake Lothian, Jose Luis Rivera, Stephen Thomas, Nathan Maurer, now Joey Doucette up to 5th right now. You talked about it with those sticker tires, and maybe they will have something for Blake Lothian. We talked about Hunter Parsons as well, started on the pole, won the first stage all the way in 13th. Going to be starting on the inside of Adam Newbert, the money man, as Will Taylor would call. And Dane Hagen is actually still out there on the racetrack, was able to get his truck fixed and keep it out there and keep it ready. Pace truck is off. Lothian and Jose Luis Rivera on the front row. Stephen Thomas right behind Lothian. Maurer right behind Rivera. Green flag in the air is in the air as Rivera gets a little bit of tire spin right here on the start going into turn 1. Gives Lothian the advantage. Now here comes Thomas trying to get second.
Yeah, exactly what happened. He spun the tire a little bit on the restart, and we'll see if Maurer can take advantage of him on the inside here as well. You'll see what Blake has here real quick. Steven's going to push him hard, I'm sure.
We talked about Stephen Thomas, one of the championship 6 in the Friday night series, which was then the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Now is the Cops Truck Series, the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. On those Friday nights, Stephen Thomas really looking strong tonight. Started 13th all the way up to 2nd. You talked about it with those sticker tires. He's going to give Lothian a run for his money. Rivera right behind him, trying to see if he can close back up and get some kind of a gap going. I don't know. He's going to be in a world of hurt if he can try to get back up there. But back here in the back, Hunter Parsons trying to fight through all of this, try to get going as Hunter's going to get turned by Adam Newbert. Looked like that Chris Kynes was one of them that was involved, and we have another, once again, another Michael, sir, pro caution.
Just one more, buddy. And now Tim Hammond looked like he got loose off the corner there, tried to save it, got into Morales, and then, of course, he's going to let off the gas, and that's going to stack him up again. That's normally just what it is. I don't know if he was loose or just a little too much wheel in it. Yeah, that looked kind of odd. Maybe it's something with the wheel, because it just turned him left right there.
Well, I'll say this. With Tim Hammond, you called it. I didn't call it. So,
No, you're right. You're right.
So apparently it's not just me that's got the curse at this point. Michael, I hate to laugh about it, but, you know, in the past couple of months, coming up on a year that I've had broadcasting with Nazra and the other various broadcasting partners that I've been with, I've been bitten by this bug over the past, month or so of, calling out drivers that have had great runs, and then for some reason or another, something happens and they get snake bit. But, it happens. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if, they started in the back or they started up front at this point. I mean, Peacock, he started up front. He's got a DNF, 85 laps down, sitting 39th. Tyler Daniels started this race 9th. He's all the way back to 30th. Check this out. We talked about Brady LaBeouf a while ago. He started this race 8th, all the way back to 25th. And Adam Newton, started on the front row all the way back to 21st. So you got guys from the back starting to make their way to the front. You got guys that were at the front starting to make their way back. I mean, Michael, we've seen this before, haven't we?
Yeah, we've seen this a couple times today. It's hard to say what's going to happen. I mean, unless you're the first 2 or 3 guys, it's just snake bit everybody so far. So these guys are just praying we can get it spread out. Maybe some of these other trucks got enough damage they can't continue. We don't want that for them, but the drivers will, because it'll help clear the track, give them a little more running room. So hopefully these guys can keep it steady, and these leaders can give each other a run here, because right now these new tires are just being negated by the the cautions.
Well, last week, at Talladega, a lot of people view that race as, I guess you could say, as a roulette wheel. Basically a roulette at a casino. Basically, pick which number you want. 36 numbers, I guess you could say 38 numbers, counting the 0 and 00. Basically, that's what you were looking like at Talladega. Basically, just spin the ball, bet on the number that you think is going to win. And that's basically what Talladega looked like. Well, the reason I'm referencing that is it looks like it's the same thing happening here tonight at Martinsville. Pace lights are out. Once again, Lothian taking the top. Stephen Thomas going to be on the bottom. Looks like Jose Luis Rivera going to be right behind Thomas. Maurer will be behind him. Doucette in 5th. Back there with Joey Stires going to be in the top 6. Pace truck is off. Drivers are coming off of turn number 4 in the restart zone. Lothian on the gas, basically checking out right now from Stephen Thomas.
Yeah, that was a huge start. I don't know exactly what happened with Stephen there. I think these guys might be teammates, might have been playing that same game. So we'll just have to watch and see. But these new tires eventually are going to cost Blake if we can get enough green flag runs. See some great battles back here. Justin White, Raul Meza, all these guys battling hard.
Raul Meza, we talked about him a while ago in the number 37 entry, right below Justin White, trying to see if he can sneak back up into the 9th position. And once again, I'm telling you right now, I don't know if there was an over or under on the caution laps tonight, or on the cautions period, but whatever number you probably had, looks like you might be getting the over if you bet on that over, as we have another Serve Pro caution here at Martinsville.
Yeah, I saw it out of the corner of my eye there. Somebody hooked the inside again, got on the curbs, and around he went. Now, what I'm seeing in the driver chat might be Brandon Broadfoot. I'm not sure. We'll see who hooked it. Somebody hooked it, got loose, spun right in front of the field again.
Actually, from what it was looking like right there, it was James Morris, the number 47 entry. Looked like he had the number 48 entry. That's Robbie Richards. Going into turn number 1 right there, a little bit of a stack up. Robbie gets into the back of Morris, sends him around. Dane Hagan, also one of those guys barely sneaking by. So you're going to see it right here on the instant replay. See Robbie right here. This is after the caution had came out. But yeah, Robbie kind of drove it in there a little bit deep. Everybody stacked up in front of Morris. And there you go. There's the shot that we were looking for. Morris goes around. And it's typical. I mean, Michael, we've talked about it a lot. We talked a lot about the stack ups and everybody having to check up so hard. And some of these guys just basically, Robbie, from what it looked like, was just basically running his normal line. Just normally, like he would out there if he was just doing a qualifying lap or a test session on iRacing. Looked like he was just doing basically that, just running his normal line. But sooner or later, these guys have got to understand that there's going to be checkups on that bottom line, and they're going to have to not basically run, I guess you could say, a test line, and be ready for those stack ups. And that's exactly what happened right there.
Yeah, once again, that's a difference in braking points. Morris is off the gas just a little sooner, get a little better exit, and other guys are pushing it deep. I think Robbie saw it, kind of the same thing we saw with Dittmer, tried to move to the outside too late and put a tag on him right there. That's just, different braking points, different driving styles, and this is what happens.
Well, folks, I hope I do not be another curse here. Chris Kynes, after getting turned a while ago from Brandon Broadfoot, hopefully we got a little bit of luck. Hopefully we got the shift going on with this announcer's curse right here. Is Chris Kynes, number 29 entry, up to 12th, looking to crack inside that inside that top 10. Excuse me. Meza is occupying that top 10, right smack dab in the middle of Kynes and Meza. Is our pole sitter Hunter Parsons back in 11th. Pace lights is out on the pace truck right now. Lothian once again going to take the top side like he has took probably for, I guess you could say, every restart that he has had since he has been the leader. Thomas going to be on the bottom. Jose Luis Rivera in that third spot. Maurer in fourth. Doucette right behind him. It's Lothian waiting to get into that box. Now, green flag is out. He is on the gas. And once again, Stephen Thomas does not get a good restart going into turn one.
No, that's going to put Maurer right on his outside. Maurer's going to want to get down, but Jose is not going to let him. Great runoff for Rivera there. Able to close the door. We'll see if Maurer can pull it off this time.
And we talked about the tires. You talked about the tires, excuse me, Michael, with Stephen trying to really manage. You see him send it into turn number one, trying to get to the back bumper of Blake Lothian. And these two guys are going to separate themselves from Rivera and Maurer. So these two guys right here trying to get a little bit of space, try to get away from everybody, and hopefully we'll be able to log some green flag laps right here as we're looking at under 70 laps to go here in the hot lap 200.
Yeah, and you're seeing the frustration back here, third, fourth, fifth. You got Lance Miller on the bottom. He's pushing Jose up. Jose's pushing Maurer up. Nobody's giving an inch. The frustration is starting to mount.
And they was 3 wide there for a moment for the top 3 spots right there. Miller trying to look to the inside of Rivera. Rivera shut the door on him. Basically come right straight across the nose of Miller. Maurer watching all of this go on right behind him. Joey Doucette back here, the Joker, in 6th. Stires in 7th. Morales actually is going to get around Hunter Parsons. Parsons all the way up to 9th. Justin White rounding out the top 10. Kynes once again in that 11th spot. Everyone trying to get single file right here, Michael. Maybe, just maybe, we can get us a good green flag run in to end out this 200 lap race.
That'd be fantastic. Watch some good racing here for 64 more laps. Let's see what we got right now. Lothian, same set of tires he started the race on, folks. Still holding the lead over Thomas. Rivera, Miller, Maurer, Doucette, Stires, all these guys mounting all the charge they got right now.
And Rivera actually sent it once again in to almost get into the back bumper of Stephen Thomas right there. Thomas was sending it, trying to get to Lothian. Now he's getting a taste of his own medicine right here. Rivera sent it. Now Miller, what will he do? See if he can send it right behind Miller. You got Maurer trying to send it in on Miller. Doucette trying to send it in on Maurer. All of these guys back here around the 4th spot trying to send it on one another and be able to try to pounce. Maybe get them to overdrive the corner a little bit. Maybe they can slide up under them and advance in the running order.
I'm just surprised with Blake. I know we've had, limited green laps, but we have had some, and the tires don't seem to have fell off one bit for him. He's still able to get great runoff and hold off all these guys on brand new treads.
He's doing a very good job of that. Actually, half a second lead right now between him and Stephen Thomas. Go back about another half a second all the way back to Jose Luis Rivera. Maybe another half a second back to Lance Miller. But Miller going to get right up on the back bumper of Rivera. As Rivera gets loose off of turn number 4, going to lose 3 spots off of that. Everybody slides by him. Miller slides by him. Maurer slides by him. Doucette slides by him. Now Rivera's going to have to play catch up if he wants to try to get back to a podium spot.
Yeah, he's going to have to ease up a little bit, let them new tires cool off a bit so he doesn't have the same exact thing happen to him again. But you see he was able to make a save, That's great. Be patient now and see if you can move forward.
And it actually looks like Jose Luis Rivera, I believe we have lost him on the running order for the moment. Went all the way down to 26. No caution is on the speedway, so Jose Luis Rivera may have got that dreaded load packet loss, or may have got a disconnect, may have lost service. So hopefully Jose Luis Rivera, maybe we're seeing things right here, folks. Hopefully he is not out of this thing. But looks like right now it's showing 2 laps down right now for Rivera as he was battling inside the top 5. Hopefully he will come back. But right now Lothian's still leading this bad boy with Stephen Thomas. Thomas got a rear view mirror full of Lance Miller. That's going to be the battle for second as they go into turn 1.
Now Lothian's actually been able to stretch us out to almost 9/10, and I'm just amazed those tires are holding on so good. But real good battle here for second and third. These guys finally getting it sorted out. Nice diamond from Lance there, looking for the runoff coming back into 1.
And that's normal to see that, Michael. You know, we failed to mention that earlier about the diamond that these drivers are able to make. Basically what you're doing, and Michael, if you want to elaborate on this, you can, but when they drive into the corner, you're going all the way down to the bottom, let the truck kind of slide up just a little bit, be able to keep it up a little bit, and then point it straight down to the bottom and try to get that run off of the corner. That's basically what these guys are doing, is they're diamonding it off the corner like you said.
Yeah, that's what you want to do here. You don't want it very far off the bottom, but just a little bit of a diamond seems to work. We've watched Denny Hamlin do it for years, Chase Elliott, all these guys. They try to get that very small diamond, and it will usually give you a better runoff.
Absolutely, and Thomas trying to make that work. So we see him diamond in the corner a couple times. Miller tries to diamond the corner a little bit, maybe drove it in a little bit too deep as he was closing in on Stephen Thomas. Now Miller sending it as hard as he possibly can, trying to get back to Thomas, try to make up for some of that lost ground. Now Maurer will get by him. Miller gonna fall in line behind Maurer. Now he's under fire from Doucette and Joey Stires. But all 3 of these guys be battling it out for the top 5 right here.
Yeah, Lance going to have to do the same thing. He's going to have to back it up a little bit, or those front tires are going to get real mad, and he's going to have a heck of a time breaking it down when he needs to. You see Stephen Thomas here, he's falling 1.2 seconds behind, and Maurer 2.6 behind. So Lothian able to stretch this out on 151 lap tires. Now granted, not all that green, but still older tires than the guys behind.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe Blake Lothian was actually planning ahead for this. We know these guys practice on a day-to-day basis to be ready to rock and roll here for the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series on Monday nights. Folks, if this is your first race with us here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, my name is Jacob Reeves with Michael McKinnon, Adam Flieger on the controls, showing you all these great views that we see tonight at Martinsville. Hopefully you will join us back next Monday night, as I believe Will Tiller and Wesley Outlam will be back. Also, if you are able to, on Friday nights at 9, the Cops Truck Series, they will kick off Friday night. They'll kick their season off at Daytona this Friday night at 9 o'clock. Same channel as you're seeing all this great action tonight here at Martinsville. As once again, we go back to the front. Blake Lothian, I'm just absolutely checking out a 2.5-second lead and 3 seconds over Nathan Maurer back in third.
Yeah, good battles around the racetrack, though. See Stires right there. He's putting the pressure to Doucette. We have a good battle with Dittmer and Richards. A lot of 2 wide around. Oh, no. Here we go. Look like Chris Kynes. Did you put the kibosh on him again, buddy?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, he'll probably want me fired after this right here, as bad as I gotta say it. Kynes started 37th, made his way up to the front, got into it with Brandon Broadfoot, then sent him back, then drove it all the way back up to almost crack the top 10. Looks like right here, Raul Meza on his inside as well. Kyle Hess back there, as well as Brady LaBeouf right behind these guys. We're going to see what happens right here. Kynes jumps up just a little bit. Meza trying to diamond the corner as well as Kynes was right here coming off of turn number 4. We'll see what Kynes did right here. See if Hess made any contact. He did not. Look like Kynes just straight up lost it right here. Come straight down into, I believe that was Brady LaBeouf, if I'm not mistaken. Hess making some evasive moves, jump to the bottom. Check this out. Adam Newbert trying to slide by as best as he could all the way down to the inside wall. Wow, I'm telling you, I mean, it's like I said, a while ago, Michael, I mean, there's that 90% chance that a car or in this case, a truck gets spun here at Martinsville. Usually 90% of the time somebody's tagging somebody and they're spinning out, but right here, once again, here's that 10% of just somebody just straight up losing it off the corner.
Yeah, he went in beside Meza, and then it looked like they both washed up a bit. And then, of course, Kynes, he gets out into the marbles there where the traction's not, and there we go.
Oh, and Jose Luis Rivera, we talked about him a while ago, not able to sneak past Kynes, and there is the pile up right here on the front stretch. I believe Cody Knott was also involved in that as well. So looked like that was the 26 truck, but this right here, honestly, this caution, I mean, honestly, Michael, this right here might have been the caution that Lance Miller needed. Obviously, Stephen Thomas needed it as well, as Lothian was out to a 2.5-second lead. We saw Miller trying to basically send it. He was sliding it in so hard, trying to keep the truck up under him. So this might have been the caution that both of those drivers needed to maybe have something right here for Blake Lothian.
Yeah, I agree with it. Maybe they were saving a little bit, or maybe Blake is just simply that strong. Still on the same fuel, still on the same tires, and was pulling away. So what I'm guessing is they're going to try to put early pressure on him, see if they can get the track position to make him have to drive back around. But we've seen all night, Jacob, that leader gets away, he's almost impossible to go get.
And Lothian making all of these restarts on the outside lane, not opting to take the bottom like Hunter Parsons was able to do. And speaking of Hunter Parsons, check this out. Check this out, Michael. Hunter Parsons up to 5th now. Started on the pole. We talked about him earlier. Won stage 1. Now Hunter Parsons right behind Joey Stires. He'll be on the bottom lane inside of Justin White. Stires will be up top. Miller will be down low behind Thomas. Thomas will be on the bottom. And once again, our leader, Blake Lothian, he is going to be having a lot of guys behind him right here as the pace truck is off. Can Lothian hang on right here for the last 40 laps, or can Hunter Parsons make a late charge and get up there and have something for Blake Lothian? We'll find out here in a second. Green flag is out. Lothian once again gets a great start. And they're 3 wide going into turn 1 as another one's going to get turned. That's Joey Stires.
Yep, Stephen Thomas spun the tires a bit. Lance Miller said, I don't care, I'm going to the bottom. Stacked everybody 3 wide in the corner, and that's what you got.
Well, I mean, Michael, we talked about it. They need to put some pressure on Blake Lothian. Looks like all 3 of those drivers, Miller, Thomas, and Stires, had the same ideas. You see Thomas looked like he may have spun the tires right here, as you said. And Miller tries to go to the bottom, Stires up top. All of this actually right in front of Hunter Parsons as well. You see Parsons right here on the bottom. Miller jumps straight in, gets into Thomas. Thomas jumps up, gets into Stires. Parsons going to be able to get by Thomas and Stires. So that puts Parsons in a little bit better of a spot. Now he's going to be 3rd in line, right behind Lance Miller and Blake Lothian.
Yeah, and I'm waiting to see when the yellow came out. We'll see if Stephen Thomas is able to get his spot like 3rd or 4th somewhere. I think it's scoring him as 6th. So we'll have to wait and see how the scoring rolls out when the yellow actually came out.
I mean, the aggression is absolutely picking up right here inside 40 laps to go. See a lot of these guys back here. Adam Newton, bunch of them back here. Tyler Dittmer, that's our points leader right there in the number 34 truck, trying to see if he can squeak by. Brandon Bullock, we haven't talked about him all night long. Started 36th up to 8th, and sure he'll be another one of those guys wanting me fired after this one, but everybody looking like they tried to get double foul up here. Adam Newbert looks like he will, somehow or another, looks like he's going to get the free pass and go around right here. Adam Newbert sitting at a 27th spot, 10 laps down. And Michael, we're under the 40 to go basically right here, 36, 35 to go right here. I mean, you know, give us your picks. I mean, I know it's a little bit early, I guess you could say 4 picks for the end of this right here, but who you think is going to take home the Hot Lap 200 tonight at Martinsville?
I think if Hunter can clear these two guys, he'll get it. He'll go up and get Blake just with the newer tires, but I don't think the guys behind Blake can get to him right now. I think Blake has got clean sailing, 35 laps. You know it's going to get crazy now. It's already been crazy. You can multiply it times 5 now, so I think it's going to be 3 or 4 restarts. Blake's going to be able to hold him off.
Michael, we've seen crazier things happen on iRacing, and I guess we could maybe, I guess you could say, stir the pot just a little bit as the pace lights are out with Lothian and Thomas on the front row. You're thinking Hunter Parsons. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of Robbie Richards and Tyler Dittmer back there. I think, some of these guys might get stacked up right here. Parsons may get to Lothian and might stack it up a little bit even more. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen. These guys, Parsons and Lothian, might get into it and wreck one another trying to get to it. And Dittmer and Robbie Richards might be in prime position to be able to take home the win tonight here at Martinsville. But we'll see what happens as the pace truck is off. They're in the restart box. Lothian takes off. Thomas, not a good start again. Here comes Hunter Parsons. Will he make a move and try to get around these guys? Robbie Richards on the bottom, up under Stephen Thomas, going for second.
Now, Robbie got a very good start. Started on the top, but was able to dice to the bottom. He should be able to take care of Stephen right here in pretty short order, I would think.
Robbie Richards on the bottom, Stephen Thomas up top, right behind him Miller, then Newton, then Hunter Parsons. Everyone trying to be minding their P's and Q's. Like you said a while ago, Michael, the intensity, everything getting ramped up times 5, maybe even times 10 here at Martinsville. Lothian still leads. Richards trying to clear Thomas as he will. Now Richards has sole possession of second place. Miller going around Thomas on the inside. Now Robbie Richards going to set his sights on Blake Lothian as if once again we have another caution.
Yep, for the 147th time tonight, it's out. I don't know exactly where this one came from, but I'm sure we'll be able to find it for you. Hang tight.
Oh, my goodness.
We'll just have to see which one got involved this time.
And I'll say this, we know that the sponsor of the series is Sim Racer Hub Truck Series, but to be honest with you, ServPro is getting a lot of love here tonight. So you see it right there, 2 truck jumps down, like Ron Hunter, kind of gets into him. 2 truck maybe jumped up a little bit. Looked like it was Justin White. Yes, it was. Looked like he hit the curb just a little bit. We talked about that curb a while ago. Jumps up into Ron Hunter. Hunter able to keep it straight. There goes Kynes. Like Bullock went by as well as Newbert. So, wow, that curb's been crazy tonight. Everything's really been crazy tonight. But like I said, I mean, ServPro, they're getting a lot of love right now.
I would agree with that. I'm not sure if Justin wheel hopped there or if he got a little help from Chris Kynes. I haven't seen Kynes being overly aggressive, so I couldn't quite tell. But once you're loose going in, you almost can't do anything about it. You're just kind of along for the ride. I just couldn't tell if Justin got a little contact or if he just got the wheel hop with the brakes.
Yeah, anything's possible right there. I mean, it could have been, over aggression. I mean, these guys, like I said a while ago, under 30 laps to go. Lap 172 right here as they'll come to lap 173 here on the Hot Lap 200 for the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Once again, my name is Jacob Reeves with Michael McKinnon, Adam Flieger on the controls. And I'll say this, Michael, Adam's had a pretty busy night with all the camera angles that he's had and all the cautions that we've had. But I'll say this, Adam's been doing a great job with all the camera angles.
Oh, great job finding us what all the action's taking place. He's going to have to moisturize that finger that's hitting the button. He's going to have a callus on it here pretty quick. But it's hard to find where it happens in the field sometimes when you're not focused on it. And he's doing a fantastic job getting that done.
They don't call him the man for nothing, folks. Adam Flieger on the controls. And once again, see some of these guys right here. Curtis Rogers, one of them. Jason Morales in the 5 truck. Kyle Hess, we talked about him a while ago. He's inside the top 10. Dane Hagan sitting in the 11th spot. Hagan, he's battled a lot of adversity tonight. Dane has getting caught up in a lot of wrecks. There's Robbie Richards. You see him very, very nervous as he's holding on to the wheel. Hopefully can get up here and give Lothian something to go. Pace lights is out on the truck. Lothian gonna take the bottom this time. We've seen Lothian take the top for numerous restarts here in this race, and he's gonna leave Robbie Richards up top. He's gonna have Miller right behind Lothian. And Stephen Thomas and Hunter Parsons do not count this 15 truck out. Once again, it was started on the pole. One of the fastest trucks this evening here at Martinsville. Pace truck is off. Lothian getting ready. See if he can jump it. He is on the gas, and Robbie Richards spins the tires and is able to jump back down to the bottom. Big slide by Robbie Richards. He's able to hang on to it as they come off a 2.
Yeah, but Lance Miller's going to hook him, take him right around. That's going to take him. Might be Morales, Richards, all 3 of these guys straight into the inside wall.
Oh my goodness. And I was just about to sit there. I mean, I didn't say it, Michael, with him starting in the 35th position all the way up to 2nd right there. But you see right there, Robbie spun the tires, went all the way from the outside, and he almost made it work. He basically made it look like he'd done it on purpose to get down to that bottom lane and jump down in front of Lance Miller. Stephen Thomas up top right here, and then you see Robbie just slides up just ever so slightly. Miller was there and just sends him straight around.
Yeah, I'm sure Lance, if he had to redo that, he might burp it just a bit. But, of course, if he does, he's going to have Hunter right up his rear end. So that's a hard one. Hopefully Morales didn't get hurt too bad, but having to sit there that long, he may have lost a few positions there.
And Robbie Richards is going to drop all the way to 23rd in the running orders. You're riding on board with Lance Miller right here. And, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying right there, Michael. Yeah, he could have burped. He could have gave maybe a little bit of an inch. Morales was right behind him. But, I mean, we're coming to 20 laps to go right here. I mean, you can't really give that inch anymore. It's like I said earlier, you know, some of these guys doing a little bit of giving, doing a little bit of taking. No harm, no foul in any way, shape, fashion, or form. But now coming to 20 to go, you know, giving's out the door. Now it's all taken.
Well, that's right. That's why we know it's going to pick up. Once again, we'll take a look at the point standings there. Dittmer, Stires, Richards, Rivera, Maurer, Hamilton. All these guys you would expect to be in the front, but we've had so much calamity tonight. We've known the fast trucks, and look who's right back up there. Adam Newton, Hunter Parsons, Blake Lothian. All these guys right back there with Dittmer. Dane Hagan having a great run. Joey Doucette. This is going to be fun at the end if we can get it to play out just a little different than what we've seen so far.
And that's what everybody at home is hoping for. Hopefully we can get this last 20 laps in under green. Get back to what we saw earlier, some good green flag racing. And Michael, you talked about this right here, you know, a while ago with Blake Lothian. Granted, he's not pitted. He's not used any sets of tires. He's on the same set of tires that he started the race on 180 laps ago. A bunch of these other guys have came in and got tires. It's like we talked about it a while ago. Wouldn't you think the older tires would drop back and the new tires would prevail? I mean, granted, they're not going real fast. Granted, it is a flat racetrack. But, yeah, I mean, what's the key right here with these old tires being able to stay in front of these newer ones?
I just don't think the heat's had to come up too much in them. I don't think they're hurting near as bad as we thought they would be as we're getting ready to go back to green here. Blake back to his outside. See if he can get the jump on Steven here. Newton, Parsons, all the top players of all day, they are right back, and Blake is gone, baby, gone.
Lothian checking out. Thomas down on the bottom. Hunter Parsons up top. We talked about him having to make that late pit stop that stuck him straight to the back of the field and has now fought his way all the way up to third right behind Stephen Thomas. If Parsons wants any part of Blake Lothian, he's got to get around Stephen Thomas, and he's got to dispose of him very quickly, because if he doesn't, Adam Newton's going to pounce right on top of Parsons.
Yeah, another caution on the speedway. I did not see what happened there, but you were exactly right. When it's green flag time, they're going to have to clear and go, or Blake's going to be very hard to catch. Let's see what we got this time.
Surrounding the Raul Meza area. What it's looking like, looks like a Doucette back here as well, and that looks like that is Jose Luis Rivera, if I'm not mistaken. No, excuse me, that's Ed Osborne. 28 and a 20, their numbers kind of look the same right there, but Ed Osborne drives it straight in there. That's another typical dive bomb right there that we see all the time, and looks like that dive bomb was not able to stick and slide straight up into Ed Osborne. But you know, going back to Hunter Parsons, what you was talking about clearing and go, you know, he's got to have that mindset right here. Now, with Hunter Parsons going to be on the inside, does this change up Blake Lothian's strategy? Because we've seen him mostly go up top. We've seen him that last time go down on the bottom. I believe it was last time, or he may have been up top. He's fluctuated, but most of the time he's been up top. Where does Lothian go right here to be able to hold off Hunter Parsons?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, these two guys in front are teammates. So I think he'll take the top, leave Steven on the bottom, and hope Steven can play blocker until they can get away a little bit, and then hopefully, you know, both of them can race it out the end. But I think that's the way we're going to see it play out. You're going to see Hunter behind Parsons, or I'm sorry, Hunter behind Thomas, and you're going to see Newton come up, be behind Blake right here.
Well, you talked about all the blocking right there that Thomas is going to have to do to try to help his teammate Lothian right there. Parsons will know every bit of that is going on, and he will honestly not care one bit and just drive straight in there and get a hold of Thomas and send him straight up the racetrack if the blocking gets too aggressive, as we're inside 15 laps to go. And you know, I mean, you know, Michael, you know, do you take that chance? Obviously, you got your teammate up there. You're trying to be able to get your teammate a win to try to help himself in the playoff grid, in the standings. I mean, with Talladega, you can do that blocking, but Martinsville, it's a little bit more risky, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. Like I said, you're so close. You break one instant too early, you got somebody right up your tailgate, you're spinning out. It's a risky proposition to be chopping noses and blocking too hard here, because at this point, there's no one's going to give you an inch. They're going to take every bit they can get.
Going to be full throttle with people blocking and chopping noses, like you said. Lothian will take the top, as you just mentioned, Michael. Stephen Thomas will be on the bottom. Parsons down on the bottom as well. Newton's going to be in that forward spot on the outside of Parsons. Tyler Dittmer going to be in fifth. Check out Dane Hagan up in sixth. Doucette, Morris, Meza. Looks like Nathan Mowers started third all the way back to 10th. That is your top 10. Cody Knott, Brandon Bullock, Ron Hunter, Zach Hardwick, and Joey Stires. That is your top 15 as this serve pro caution is over with. Will we see another caution here at Martinsville? We hope not, as they get in the restart zone. Lothian is gone. Thomas down on the bottom, and you see not getting that great of a restart. Parsons literally shoved him straight into turn number one. Looks like a little bit of a stack up back in the field. Thomas trying to see if he can get away from Parsons. Newton right up Parsons' tailgate.
Yeah, you see Dane Hagan a little hot there. Let's see if he can hold his position coming off. Nope. He's going to lose a couple there. That one corner is going to cost him about 6 positions. Having a great run, but a little bit too hot going in. You see a good battle here by Newton and Dittmer. Great save by both right there. Oh, and
Newton goes around, and that's going to bring out another Serve pro caution here at Martinsville. They done a great save right there. I think it was just, it caught them off guard that both of them was able to save it the way that they did. You're going to see it right here off of turn number 2. And wow, I mean, you know, Newton came down. Dittmer may have jumped on the gas and just jumped straight up into him. They both met. And I think it just surprised Newton so much that both of them wasn't already junked and wrecked, that Newton just completely missed his breaking point out of that, or he just locked him up so hard and just spun it straight out.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. It's a little wheel hop going on. I mentioned it earlier. It's looser going in than you think, folks, and that's how close it is right there. You lock the rear tires up, and you're going to go around. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Absolutely nothing you can do about it. That will hurt Adam Newton's chances of being able to get himself a top 5 tonight. Adam Newton trying to look and see where he is officially being scored right now, but I know from what I can see outside the top 10, even outside the top 15, as I'm showing Adam Newton right now, the last car on the lead lap in 22nd spot, started in the 2nd position this evening. Bunch of guys back here. You know, we talked about, 40 trucks took the green flag here tonight. Now we got 22 of them on the lead lap. So with that being said, we know, stage points, and everything, accumulates. Would this make it a little bit risky, as you see right there, the pit strategy right there on your screen, basically where the Lothian's been. Thomas is basically split straight down the middle. Lothian has not pitted. Looks like Parsons as well as Dittmer as well, from what I can see. But talking about it right here, with 22 trucks on the lead lap, does that make the gamble to try to get something extra? Does that make it more, I guess you could say, more realistic? I guess you could say. I mean, I'm trying to find the word for it, but knowing that as far as that you're going to drop probably is 22nd. I mean, does that change your move at all right there, Michael?
Well, if you've got some stage points, it wouldn't hurt as bad, but each one of these guys, they want to finish where they're at, but they also understand, this is another thing, you also understand you get into somebody and they spin in front of you, they could possibly take you out too, so that is a little bit of a deterrent. So we're going to have probably 5 to go, maybe 6 here when we take the green. Yeah, we'll have 6 laps to go when we take the green. If we can get this to run it out, I just don't think anybody's got anything for Lothian. I think he's gone, even though you got Dittmer outside here, and Dittmer is going to go as hard as he can. Teammates behind teammates here, so this ought to get interesting. Big shout out right now to James Morris. We saw him spin earlier, able to work himself back into the top 6 right now, so great run for him.
And I am looking on the race information just for the heck of it at this point, Michael, trying to figure out how many green-white checkers. I believe that there is 3 green-white checkers that they will probably have if everything gets crazy and something happens. Green flag back in the air. Lothian on the gas. Thomas right behind him in his tire tracks. Dittmer and Parsons battling it out for 3rd. Bunch of hungry horses trying to chase down Lothian. Dittmer on the top, and once again, we have a caution with 5 laps to go.
All right, with 5 laps to go, everybody, how about this, Adam? I need a little pause for a moment. Let's get the replay. I'm going to step away for a moment. Hopefully we can go to break, and I'll be right back, everybody.
Yeah, we'll do that right here. Give Michael a chance to catch his breath. Seeing the serve pro caution right here, seeing what happened right here. Bullock, looks like he gets in. I believe that is Cody Naughton at 26. I believe that's what it was, but we'll give Michael a chance to catch his breath, and we'll give myself a chance to catch my breath as well, as we're closing in on the end of this thing here at Martinsville. Lothian still leads. We'll be back here in a second.
Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you sticking with us here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. A lot of action, a little bit of racing, and quite a show these boys have put on so far.
And now I just checked out my race notes right here. There is 3 green, white checkers if need be. This will be the first attempt at a green, white checkered here at Martinsville. So for those of you at home that do not know, let's go ahead and set the scene for you. This is how they do the green, white checkered. If the leader comes across, they'll take the green flag. If a caution comes out before they take that white flag, they'll re-rack them and they'll do it again. But if that leader does cross the line and the white flag happens, all hell can break loose behind them, and we will have a green flag finish all the way to the end, which is exactly what I'm sure everybody is wanting to see with a caution field race tonight here at Martinsville. Pace truck lights is out. Thomas on the bottom. Lothian still is the leader. Thomas is inside. Dittmer on the outside. Hunter Parsons right behind Thomas. Don't count out Joey Doucette and James Morris back here in the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Lothian will get a great jump and jump straight down the bottom in front of Thomas.
Lothian just rockets away. Stephen Thomas, really good entry there, but here comes Hunter Parsons to the inside, making his way right back up.
Parsons trying to get something going right here. Thomas all up into Blake Lothian's back bumper. He's going to take a run at it. No, he will not. They do not take the white flag. Caution is on the speedway right before they get to the line. So we will have one more attempt. Thomas had that bad boy sized up perfectly, trying to get it going. As you see Morris and Doucette getting involved right here. Everybody scattering, trying to get around them. And Michael, we talked about, or excuse me, you talked about the brakes locking up. I think that's exactly right there what happened with Morris right there.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. It looked like he might have got a little bit of the curb. He just probably locked it up on the entry. It's getting slicker and slicker. The track temp's not high enough to really get these sticky tires. So you get a little brake lock up and you are in trouble in a hurry.
I'm telling you, Thomas may have give Blake Lothian a little bit of a scare right there, because when they was getting ready to take that white flag, they were an inch away from taking it. Thomas was basically they were dead heat at the line, which is exactly what Thomas wanted. But I know this much right there, with this caution coming out, I mean, do you think it might have hurt Thomas just a little bit? Because we've seen basically he's just playing cat and mouse back there. He's just playing with Lothian at this point. Obviously, with that run that he got off of turn number 4, do you think that might have hurt Thomas's strategy just, maybe just a little bit?
No, I think he's been playing cat and mouse the whole night, because he sure put a run on Blake right there. So I'm looking forward to this next one, just to see that he was going to give him everything he had right there.
And hopefully we will be able to make it to the white flag. Remember, 3 green, white checkers here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Once again, my name is Jacob Reeves with Michael McKinnon, Adam Flieger here at Martinsville, waiting on the pace lights to go out. They do not go out, so they'll go another lap under this Serve Pro caution. And Michael, just for the heck of it, while we have a moment, neither one of us really have kept track. I haven't kept track. You haven't kept track. At one point, you said for the 147th time that the caution came out. Just a random number in your head. Just add it, just random number. How many cautions do you think we might have had tonight?
21. Somewhere in that.
All right, so you're going to go with 21. We will check that after the race and try to get a number for the folks and see how close you are on that 21. I'm going to go a little bit over. I'm going to say around the 20, 24, 25. I'm going to go 25. That'll give us a four caution cushion right there, and if it's in the middle, neither one of us win. That's just the way we look at it. Yeah. So, but anyway, pace lights is out. Second green, white checkered. Lothian gonna take the bottom right here. We saw him take the top last time. Thomas gonna be up top now, and Lothian's gonna have Parsons right behind him. Big time strategy move right here by Lothian. We'll see if it pays off for him. Pace truck is off. They are off turn number 4 in the restart zone on the gas. Thomas once again does not get a great start as he's going to jump straight down in front of Parsons as they get ready to come off of 2. Lothian still leads.
Yeah, he got just enough to get a hold of Parsons there. Let's see what he's got for Blake or what Hunter might have for him. You see him drive it way deep right here. This is going to get interesting, folks.
White flag, will we get it? Oh, rejoice, we get the 1 to go here at Martinsville. Lothian still leading this bad boy. Thomas looks like he's starting to fade just a little bit. Thomas may have not have needed that caution when it happened. He may have had Lothian, but he will not be able to get it as Thomas gets loose off the corner. And Blake Lothian will score the win here tonight at Martinsville. Big time win for Blake Lothian. Stephen Thomas is going to get second. Hunter Parsons clawed his way all the way back to third. Dittmer fourth. And Nathan Maurer going to take the 971 entry and get him a top 5 tonight here at Martinsville.
Yeah, and how about Robbie Richards? We saw him get spun. He's back up to 6. Joey Steyer's fought all night. He's 7th. Jason Morales, 8th. Jeffrey Johnson Jr. ends up 9th tonight. And how about Brandon Broadfoot? Top 10 at Martinsville.
And check out Ron Hunter and Chris Kynes, 11th and 12th respectively. Ron Hunter only called his name maybe once or twice tonight. Started 39th all the way up to 11th. Brandon Bullock also 13th as you see the results on your screen. Lothian gets the win. Thomas 2nd. Parsons 3rd. Dittmer 4th. Nathan Maurer getting the top 5. Robbie Richards, Joey Steyers, Jason Morales, Jeffrey Johnson Jr., Brandon Broadfoot, the top 10.
Yep, and they're followed up by Ron Hunter there in 11th. Chris Kynes, saw him get piled up twice, back to 12th. Brandon Bullock back to 13th. Adam Newton, with his bad luck, 14th. Brady LaBeouf, 15th. Joey Doucette, 16th. 17th, James D. Morris, and 18th, Raul Meza, followed up by 19th of Dane Hagan and 20th of Cody Knott.
Zach Hardwick will come home in the 21st spot. Ed Osborne will come home in the 22nd spot. Justin White be 23rd. Kyle Hess 24th. Curtis Rogers going to be in the 25th spot. 26th to Lance Miller, who was up front for a good portion of this race. Had a good shot at trying to get him a top 5. He's going to end up 34 laps down in the 26th spot. Tim Hammond in 27th. Jose Luis Rivera, we talked about him having some connection issues. Going to be 35 laps down to 28th spot. Adam Newbert 29th. And Steve Barnett will round out the top 30.
Yep, and to finish off your field there, we got Brian Chew in 31st. Kerry Traby 32nd. Adam Cantwell brings it home 33rd. Derek Kilgore 34th. Sean Hamilton 35th. Ryan Twinham 36th. Donnie Lyons 37th. Chris Blanchard, early troubles for him, 38th. Same for Taylor Peacock, 39th. 40th will be Tyler Daniels.
And check this out right here. If we look right here, the top 14 drivers, all 14 of them Well, welcome back, everybody, to Martinsville, the Hot Lap 200 with Lothian getting the win. But we have Hunter Parsons here in the broadcast room. Hunter Parsons, do you have a copy, buddy?
Got you loud and clear.
Well, Hunter Parsons started on the pole, had that stage 1 win. I mean, Hunter, we saw right there at the end of stage 2. We was trying to get some, confirmation from race control. Did you actually get that stage 2 win, or did you have to pit early and not be able to get it?
Nope. I actually, sorry if I'm currently driving now. I actually did get the stage 2 win as well, and then decided to pit right as the pit gates opened. So, did get the stage 1 and 2 win there for the team, and ultimately kind of shot myself in the foot by pitting. Didn't need to, but third place, can't complain.
Cannot complain. Hunter Parsons getting third. We'll try to make it a little bit quick for you, knowing that you on the road trying to get on down the road. But Hunter Parsons, once again, I mean, tell us about this battle right here. I mean, did you think you had something for Lothian right there, or was it just too little, too late right there?
It was a little too late. I did suffer some damage there in the middle of that race, which is why I'm shooting myself in the foot for pitting. But right before we had that second green-white checker, we did cross the line for the white, and Thomas and Lothian went side by side going into 1, and thought maybe if I could get to Thomas's bumper there into 3, could have gave him a little shot going into 3 for maybe a shot at the win. But between damage and starting so far back in stage 3, just kind of put myself in a hole, and wish I wouldn't have done that. But overall, 2 stage wins and a third. I obviously very, very good coming out of that Martinsville torture.
Blake Lothian coming home third, bud. Like I said, we know you on the road trying to get on down the road, so we'll make it quick. Just go ahead and give us your shout outs for anybody that has made this possible tonight, bud.
First off, you guys doing the broadcast. Jason Morales bringing me on board this season for Highline Racing. We've been kicking ass and taking names every week, between me, Dittmer, Blanchard, Steve Barnett, and Jason himself. Everyone at Nazareth for putting everything on. It was a little rough one tonight for everyone watching, but overall should be good, and we'll go to Homestead next week and hopefully do a little bit better.
That is Hunter Parsons coming home third tonight. Got him some stage wins, got him a top 3, and was able to be on the broadcast tonight for the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Hunter Parsons, we'll see you next week, as it looks like he has already checked out from the broadcast room. Looks like he was in a little bit of a hurry, but Michael, have you caught up with Stephen Thomas?
Yeah, Stephen, buddy, you got a copy of us?
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Not too much, man. Hey, long night. I know you guys probably all frustrated, but you were able to keep her up front all night. Were you playing a little cat and mouse with Blake there, or did just a little too late right there toward the end?
I definitely felt like I had the faster truck if we could get any green flag starts at all or runs at all, but with all those restarts now, obviously didn't have anything for him. I mean, if it came down to a green white checkered, all he had to do was get a good restart and 2 truck links, and then you're racing the person behind you for those 3 laps. So, like I said, I figured it'd come to a green white checkered, unfortunately, and that's exactly what it did. So I just raced Hunter as hard as I could.
Yeah, I mean, overall, great points night for you. You're able to survive the chaos. I mean, you got to feel good about that. But I know these short track things, sometimes we have issues. Tonight we had a lot of issues. Was it loose in? I seen a lot of guys hitting the curbs, man, like under braking. Was it real loose going in?
It was loose going in and really loose coming out, man. If you hit the brake too hard, the rear end would throw itself around, and if you got onto it too early, you'd come out. I mean, you seen me turn 4 last lap. I got into it a little bit too hard, just trying to race as hard as I possibly could there, and the rear end got around. So yeah, it was really loose tonight, no matter really what you did. So yeah, really loose and a lot of aggressive driving, a lot of trucks out here on the small track. It was definitely a frustrating night.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a little frustrating, but like I said, great points night for her. I guess I'll give you the floor now. You go ahead and shout it out, and whoever you want to give the big shout out to, lay it on us.
Yeah, I want to thank the league sponsors with Nazareth 360 Racing Network, Triple M, Paltz Poppers, Hoopties, Blanchards, Butt Kicker, Stogies, M1, Warrior Wraps. I'm sure there's a couple in there that I may have named that's not anymore. There's a couple that has joined us and I haven't got updated yet. But everybody involved in the league and all the sponsors. I want to thank my teammates, Adam Newbert and Adam Newton, and the team owner Jeff Sickles and Justin Lumpkin, man, all those guys getting me a sponsor with Jersey Smoke this year. So I want to thank Jersey Smoke for sponsoring my truck, and A's Lawn Landscaping, Darren's Nail Gun Repair, Ladanko, Roofco Company, Millie's North, Millie's Restaurant, the Family Handyman, all those guys, DSR Electric, they really help us out in the team. We have a bunch of sponsors helping us out and those guys watching. So I want to thank those guys for helping us out and watching the race, and then you guys in the broadcast and everybody that raced tonight. Thanks, guys.
We appreciate it, Stephen. You know you got something going on when you can name about 15 sponsors. So, man, I'm proud of you, man. Great run. I know it's frustrating, but good points tonight, and we'll see you next week, bud.
All right, thanks, man.
That was Stephen Thomas getting that second place finish, but we got to get the man of the hour. That is Blake Lothian in the number 43 entry. Blake, do you have a copy?
I do.
Well, Blake, I'll say this. I mean, from what our stats was showing us, it looked like you didn't even pit the whole time. I mean, was our stats correct on that? So you didn't pit not once in 200 laps here at Martinsville.
I was fuel saving the entire race.
Wow. I mean, I'm telling you, that's some serious fuel mileage, I guess you could say. I wish my truck could get that. But, Blake, I mean, tell us about this. I mean, granted, it looked like it was going to be a battle between you and Hunter Parsons. We talked to Parsons a minute ago and said that he probably shouldn't have pitted when he did. Did you think that when Parsons pitted that basically you may have just had this bad boy in the bag?
No, I didn't think that strategy was going to work at all. Once he pitted, I was telling my teammates, I think we should pit. And by the time we realized we should have, but we already missed the pit entry. And right then I was thinking our race is over right there. And I was like, I'm just going to stay out, save as much as we can. And on the start of stage 2, I was 40 laps to the bad on fuel. And I somehow made all that up. I have no idea how.
Wow. I'm telling you right now, I like I said, you are the fuel master, I guess you could say, here in the racerhub.com truck series. But Blake, I mean, this is it's going to be good right here for you to be able to get some points right here. I'm not real sure if you're running full time. So if you are, this is going to lock you in to the playoffs. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it's great to win, first off. Second off, I'm only running part-time because just so busy. I came from the New Hampshire race. I came into practice right when I came in the door. So I just don't have the time commitment. I just don't want to take up a playoff spot when I know I can't run fully for the playoffs.
Well, still, I mean, you was able to pull out the win tonight at Martinsville, being able to get better fuel mileage, like I said, than my Chevy Silverado sitting out in the driveway. But Blake Lothian, go ahead and give us your shout-outs, bud.
Oh my goodness, stick with the motorsports first off for giving me this opportunity to be running out here. All of our teammates back at Stick with the Motorsports been helping me out the entire time. We were doing teammate resource pretty much the entire race, just working together, trying to help each other out, trying to help out our full-time drivers without compromising my race too much. So that, and then on top of that, Texas Law Book, POTUS ABC Kids, Colin Phillips Communications. This the paint team I was running was one I ran last year at Martinsville in the truck race, so it was cool to get that in victory lane.
Blake Lothian coming home with the win, bud. Enjoy it, because wins don't come easy on iRacing, and they damn sure don't come easy in the SimRacerHub.com truck series. Blake, we'll see you down the road, bud.
100%. Thank you.
That is Blake Lothian. And Michael, I do have the points. They are updated as of right now. Tyler Detmer will still hold that points lead. Jason Morales will jump up in the second spot. With Sean Hamilton going to jump up another spot in third. Adam Newton fourth. Joey Stires will be fifth. The rest of the top 10 in the points will be Brandon Bullock, Hunter Parsons with a huge gain up 6 spots all the way up to 7th. Adam Newbert going to lose 2 spots to 8th. Lance Miller 9th and Kerry Tribune is 10th. And Michael, I actually have it official right here. 23 cautions. So I said 25. You said 21. It was right smack dab in the middle, bud.
Right in the middle. Well, we were pretty darn close right there then. It was just a battle for these guys tonight. We heard it from Steven. When I was running earlier, it had a lot of grip, but you could see a little tire wear, and the braking was loose in when I was playing with it. And we got to see that a lot tonight, and it's a shame for a lot of these guys, but for the guys that could keep it up front, they were able to, finish the deal and didn't get hurt too bad from it. So overall, congratulations to Blake. We'll move on next week, and we'll put this one in the rearview mirror.
Next week will be Homestead Miami Speedway. A lot of great racing that I have had at Homestead. Michael, I'm sure you've had a lot of great racing at Homestead. We cannot wait till Monday for the Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. Remember, next week, this coming Friday, the Cops Truck Series will start their season off Friday night, 9 o'clock on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. If you are able to, it's going to be a blast. Be at Daytona kicking off their season. The Animal Keith Bradley going to be in race number 1 to be able to try to defend his championship moving over with Mission 1 Motorsports. So that's going to be a real big deal for that. Hopefully we'll catch you on Friday night. This has been the Nazareth 360 Racing Network with Jacob Reeves and Michael McKinnon in the booth. Adam Flieger on the controls tonight. We'll catch you next week. Everybody be safe. We'll see you next time.